Hi, my name's Allie. I'm the Account and Marketing Director here at Holland Adhaus, and I'm going to be answering some questions about working with an agency. Why would a business consider working with an agency? A business might consider working with an agency when they're getting serious about growth, not just staying busy. A lot of business leaders are really good at what they do. They know their business in and out. They know their people, their services, their processes, but they might not be a marketer. Marketing is its own discipline. Platforms are constantly evolving, algorithms change, and it's a full-time job just to stay up in your area of expertise. With an agency, you're not just hiring one person, you're getting a team of experts specialized in different areas. And honestly, sometimes you just want an outside perspective. Business leaders can get really involved and caught up in the day-to-day. When is the right time to bring in an agency? It's probably time to bring in the professionals in a marketing agency when your growth has plateaued and you're not sure why. And maybe if your executives are spending a little bit too much time on wondering what your Instagram caption should say, it might be time to stop DIYing your marketing. What does an agency do beyond producing ads and content? While an agency does create amazing ads and content with developers, designers, videographer, we're so much more than that. At Holland Adhaus, we are business growth architects. We work on market intelligence, analyzing your competitors and your target customers and see what the competition is doing. Tech stack intelligence. We set up your CRM and make sure we're setting up tracking pixels so you know where your money's being spent. And we also work on overall strategy, figuring out the why behind the what. What problems do you see when businesses try to do their own marketing? One of the biggest issues we see when companies do their own marketing is what we call random acts of marketing. There's no consistency. They want to try a new tactic, but don't put a strategy behind it. They maybe try something for a month, spend a little money on it, but if they didn't track that accurately, they might just decide these ads didn't work and pull the plug before they really understand what's happening. Good acts of marketing should not be random. There should be a strategy, there should be goals, it should be measurable, and you should learn from your mistakes. Another common pitfall we see is companies are trying to market to everyone, trying to explain everything they offer, every product and service to everyone. It's very important to understand who your customer is, understand their pain points, and speak to that. Another common mistake we see is that marketing usually falls to the bottom of the priority list. Business leaders have companies to run, budgets to balance, employees to hire, operations to worry about, and what's left is what's left for marketing, and that's usually not enough. What is the 7 times rule in marketing? The 7 times rule in marketing states that a customer must see a brand's message at least 7 times before trusting that brand enough to take an action. What is the 60-40 rule in marketing? The 60-40 rule in marketing is a principle that states that 60% of your marketing budget should be allocated to tactics that build your brand and awareness, and the other 40% should be allocated to bottom of the funnel tactics that drive leads. What is the number 1 rule in marketing? The number 1 rule in marketing is know thy customer. You must have clarity on who you're trying to speak to. You need to understand their pain points, their behaviors, their thoughts and beliefs, in order to understand what's going to drive them to take an action. Every time we bring on a new client, one of the first things we do is develop customer personas. We give these customer personas a name, values, pain points, where do they work, what do they do, what is their family situation, and we use those personas when we figure out what our messaging should be. Who are we trying to speak to? What do they want to hear? Where do we speak to them? How does working with an agency differ than an internal marketer? Working with an agency is different than having an internal marketer. While it might be great to have one on staff, and that's fantastic, a lot of times it's hard to find the right skill set in one person. With an agency, you're getting a team with members in different areas of specialization. To find someone who can work at a high quality, digital strategy, website development, creative production, strategist, copywriter, designer, data analyst, Google Ads expert, media buyer, master negotiator, videographer, graphic designer. It's going to be really hard to find that in one person. If you find that in one person, please hold on to that unicorn. When you work with an agency, you get all of that, typically for about the same budget you could hire one internal person.